Hi Global Gardeners. We're going to read The Tiny Seed by Eric Carlisle. This is one of my favorite books about a journey that a tiny little seed takes. So, The Tiny Seed. It is autumn. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is tiny. It's smaller than the others. Will it be able to keep up? And where are they going? Do you guys see that one tiny seed? And then all the other bigger seeds? One of the seeds flies higher than the others. Up, up, up it flies. But it flies too high, and the sun's hot rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. Can you guys see the tiny seed? There it is. Another seed lands on a tall, icy mountain. The ice never melts, and the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. The seeds fly over the ocean. One seed falls into the water and drowns. The others sail on with the wind, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. Can you guys see the tiny seed? There it is. Finally, the wind stops and the seeds fall gently to the ground. A bird comes by and eats one seed. The tiny seed is not eaten. It is so small that the bird can't see it. Can you guys find the tiny seed? There it is. Now it is winter. After their long trip, the seeds settle down. They look just as if they're going to sleep in the earth. The snow falls and covers them like a blanket. A hungry mouse, who also lives in the ground, eats a seed for his lunch. But the tiny seed lies very still, and the mouse does not see it. You guys see the mouse? Can you find the tiny seed? Now it is spring. After a few months, the snow has melted. The seed and rain falls. Now it is spring. After a few months, the snow has melted. Birds fly by. The sun shines and rain falls. The seeds grow so round that they burst open a little. Now they are not seeds anymore. Now they are plants. First they send roots down into the earth, and then their little stems and leaves start to grow up towards the sun and the air. There is another plant that grows much faster than the little new plants. It is a fat weed, and it takes all the sunlight and all the rain away from one small new little plant. That little plant dies. Our tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. It'll be too late. Hurry! But finally, it too starts to grow into a little plant. Do you see our tiny seed and his little plant? The warm weather also brings children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun in springtime. One child doesn't see the plants as he runs along and oh, he breaks one. Now it cannot grow anymore. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, but its neighbor grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, his neighbor has 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 leaves. And look, as a bud, and now a flower. Wow. But what is happening? There are footsteps, and then a shadow looms over them. A hand reaches down and it breaks off the flower. Do you see that someone's picking the flower? Oh no, it's gonna happen. A boy has picked the flower to give to his friend. It is summer. Now the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone. It grows on and on. It does not stop. The sun shines on it and the rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller. It is taller than the people. It is taller than the trees. It is taller than the houses. And now there's a flower on it. People come far and near to look at this flower. It is the tallest flower they've ever seen. It is a giant flower. Look how tall it is. It's so pretty. Did you see all the people who came to look at the flower? How many people do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can you guys find a dog? All summer long, the birds and bees and butterflies come visiting. They have never seen such a big and beautiful flower. Look at all the animals coming to visit the flower. And now it is autumn again. The days grow shorter, the nights grow cooler, and the wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. Some petals drop from the giant flower, and they sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down to the ground. Do you see those trees that are changing color? The wind blows harder. The flower has almost lost all of its petals. It sways and bends away from the wind, but the wind still grows stronger and it shakes the flower. Once more, the wind shakes the flower, and this time, the flower's seed pod pops open. Out come many tiny seeds that quickly sail far away on the wind. The end. So this book was about a tiny seed that was so small you wouldn't think he would grow as well as his friends. But he was able to travel the whole way he needed to go, and when he got buried in the earth, he was safe because of being so tiny, no one ate him. And even though he was tiny, and he grew a little bit later than his friends, he ended up growing into the most big flower ever, and he was so pretty. Thanks for reading the book with me. I hope you had fun. Thank you for reading The Tiny Seed with me. It is one of my favorite books. I love how that tiny seed had to go on a journey. And he crossed the cold mountains, and he had to go over the ocean, and he had to pass through the desert, and he had so many friends in the beginning, but as things kept happening, it was only him. It was just him. And that tiny, tiny seed, he was the smallest seed there. He ended up growing into the biggest plant ever. I thought that was so cool. And I'm wondering, how could such a big plant be inside that tiny seed? It's kind of like how seeds have the potential to grow big. So some seeds are going to grow small, but some could grow big, and you never know. You just have to grow them and find out. It's kind of like people. People have everything we need to grow inside of us. We have kindness and bravery and curiosity, and it's all inside of us. However, when we start growing and we start learning, we're able to grow in those areas more and more, and we have the potential to become big, to become powerful people, to become kind to others, to be brave. Just like that seed grew super huge, we as people can become really awesome people because we have the potential and we have everything we need right inside of us. What are some ways that you could grow in kindness today? What are some ways you could grow in bravery? I want to challenge you to do those things, to grow in curiosity, grow in your joy, grow in your bravery, because by doing that, you will get to be a big, powerful person, someone that is kind to others, and someone that people enjoy being around. kind of just like how that tiny, tiny seed, he ended up growing into a huge plant. We can grow into something really cool too. Alright guys, have a great rest of your day. It was so good to be able to have class with you. Bye.